High spots and cheap pops. Today's episode, we talk Jesus Christ, baby! AEW Dynamite? Maybe not so much. And Cody Rhodes continues his ascension to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Silicon Steve Valli. And on the other side, we got... And ladies and gentlemen, we have some special guests today. We have Zoe and Buster on the left of me. And on the right of me, prominently displayed as champion I am, I'm Silicon Steve Valli. Vlad Dotty, lot going on in the world of professional wrestling. What happened tonight during the Adam Cole Hangman match at the end?
Well, listen, a lot of build up for this match as these two former roommates at Ring of Honor, and these two have plenty of history together. They decided to have a Texas death match on what would be Good Friday. For, those that are not Christian, this would be the day that signifies the death of Christ, which happens 3 days before his ascension to heaven, to put in biblical terms. So, on of all days, in a live event, Tony Khan, in his grand wisdom, decides to go and irritate maybe what could be maybe 70% of his audience on a live stream event on on TNT of all things in prime time. They had a Texas death match between Hangman Page and Adam Cole, Baybay. And as we go into the last few moments of this match, somehow or another, Hangman Page has a crown of barbed wire, which some might say resemble a crown of thorns, and decides to give him the bullseye pile driver through a wooden table as Adam Cole, Baybay, is wearing it.
Deadeye.
Defeats him. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. The Deadeye. The Deadeye, and defeats him as he's wearing this crown of barbed wire. And with all things considered, especially with what's going on with Discovery buying Time Warner and all these good things that really, truly impact a federation that you and I both admire, I don't know how well thought out that might have been. And this is definitely going to irritate some of the fans here, for sure. It's not a deal breaker for me by any means. I'm just like, wow, that's an interesting artistic choice to go and throw out there on this holy of holiest days. But it's going to irritate the hell out of many Christian folk, and especially from the Midwest. And as you and I talked in our pre-production meeting, that this was not necessarily at 10 o'clock till 11, where maybe some kids aren't watching. This is prime time, different time slot, and they went for it. It's this, they got a lot of grief for the pizza cutter deal as a Domino's commercial is playing. This is maybe taking it up a few different notches. So watching wrestling all these years between you and I, you've combined the amount of years that you and I have been watching, you always think, maybe I've seen it all. Nope, not in this guilty pleasure of ours. Tonight, we just saw something else. And you know what? This comes from a period of time that you and I have watched it. We saw The Undertaker crucify Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow.
But it wasn't any time near Easter or Good Friday. And as an ECW fan, I also recall the event that lived in infamy with Raven basically looking to crucify Tommy Dreamer, and Kurt Angle basically walking out of ECW and deciding never to wrestle with them. So that was an event that even Paul Heyman didn't show on TV. And now we have tonight. So it's a real interesting night. I would say it's going to be an interesting 24 hours as this starts to fester and people see this. I don't know how sponsors are going to feel about it. I don't know how the Discovery people are going to feel about it. And this is something where Tony Khan maybe should have considered having it toned down. Time will tell, man. But again, wrestling never ceases to amaze their audience, and this might be a moment they might regret.
I'm watching this right while you
Yeah.
were talking, and I'm just taking it from the very moment it happened. So Cole if anyone saw it, Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise, and he's going to do it on the apron. Hangman had wrapped barbed wire on his forearm. He clotheslines him to block it. And after that, off of it, he takes the barbed wire off of his arm, wraps it around Cole's head. And by the way, the visual here, folks, Adam Cole has long brown hair. He's kind of slender. I mean, he could go for he's the closest look. If anyone could dress up like Jesus Christ, Adam Cole fits the deal. He's the most Jesus Christ looking wrestler probably on AEW, which, by the way, is probably going to get a Vlad Dottie next year. The most Jesus Christ wrestler. Look at that. That's a nice graphic right there. The most Jesus Christ wrestler of the year. Thank you, Adam Cole. So, yeah, he wraps it around and then gets him up in the dead eye through the table, beats the 10 count. Well, obviously he's going to beat the 10 count because he's not getting up for a few days, right? Right?
Yeah, it would be 3 days. And if we're talking biblical sense, yes.
It's Easter Sunday. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they would have to be out of there tonight at the latest.
Yeah, so hopefully Adam Cole will rise again. This is the visual of this. I'm trying to think about the visual of this with somebody. Grandmas, children. This happened at 7:56-ish tonight, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If it was live on the West Coast, then again, now here's where we have to question. This happened even 10 years ago. This is a monster. But have we gotten to the point and so desensitized? And has Christianity become, is there a Christian privilege? I mean, you know what I mean? It's like that seems to be the religion you can get away with making fun of openly.
I get what you're saying there. Yeah, but this is going to offend people.
The visual, why it's going to offend people is the visual, the time of day, and the day. You couldn't have this match. Tony Khan could have put this match on Wednesday night or Saturday night, or even next fucking Wednesday. He decides to run it on Good Friday. And they just are in a little bit of uncertain waters coming with this deal that you talked about. And then, by the way, I don't think we should blame Tony for this creative part of it. Tony may have had no idea this. I can't see Tony Khan saying, "Oh, that's a good idea. Go ahead and do it, guys. Oh, that's great. That's so great." I can't see Tony Khan greenlighting that. I can't see anyone with a brain in their head greenlighting that, like you said. Yeah. You really think Tony Khan greenlit that?
I don't know what to think, but I mean, honestly, like this is not a good moment for Tony Khan or AEW, and whoever did, creatively speaking, come up with this idea and let it slide through the radar. Not a good moment for them. I mean, this is not the moment that you want to have the passion of the Baybay happen on this night.
Wow.
And that's really a Texas death match with a crown of barbed wire on Good Friday. No can do. Advertisers don't like that.
Not just advertise. I mean, Christian groups. If a Christian man sees that and takes that offense to it, again, if you look at the visual, it's just a snapshot. If you only see, if a news show shows 5 seconds of this, and all you see, and you don't watch professional wrestling, and you just take the 5 seconds and you run it like a news show instead of like an event, and you just show that,
right?
It's disturbing. It is. I'm not saying it's disturbing for me, and I'm a Christian. But at the same time, I can see people getting pissed off about it. I know goddamn well you like that. I know goddamn well that if it was any other religion, we'd be hearing a lot about it. And I'm not saying that to be like, wham, poor Christianity. They've had their fun. Yeah.
They've done all right.
And by the way, I don't like Christians. I just
actual thumpers. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those Christians. But, I have a belief, whatever. I don't want to get into it too much. So this has nothing to do with that. It really isn't. Like, I actually was like, didn't even think it was that big of a deal until I'm like, that looked a lot like Jesus Christ. Wait, what day is it? Holy shit. And I watched it at 10 o'clock tonight, but I was like, wait a minute, this aired at 7 o'clock tonight. That is fucked. How come? It could be very devastating for the company. It really could be, or it could be nothing.
And the other thing to consider too is like the way they booked the match, the way Cole looks. Christ was the heel in this match.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ turned heel.
Of all days.
He's not waiting 2 days, baby. The thing is, too, you have to question Adam Cole's sense for thinking this is a good idea, or Hangman thinking it was a good idea. For either one of them two had to think it was a great idea. Both of them might have thought it was a great idea. So this goes on those two more than anybody. So before we start saying Tony Khan sucks, fuck Tony Khan, we have to put the professional wrestlers who did this. And again, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I think it's dangerous for the company.
It's bad business, honestly. It's really a cheap way to get controversy.
Do you think that was the reason they did it, though? I don't know if I agree with that.
The timing of it all, really, I mean, somebody had to say, hey, wait a second, it's Easter weekend, this is Good Friday. I don't know if we should be using a crown of barbed wire that looks like a crown of thorns as I'm getting the dead eye through a table.
And he gets beat like that, and that's the finish! That's right. The damn thing! I mean, it's ballsy. It's ballsy, and I like it. And actually, a part of me loves it. I think it's a great finish. I just don't think it was a smart business move, like you said. I don't think it's smart to do at 7:57 p.m. on a fucking Friday night. Like, no, on a good Friday night. It was not a good look. It shows actually immaturity by the company. It shows bad decisions by the company, and it shows that if Tony did not know about this, or creative or the higher ups did not know about that. I mean, what about the Young Bucks? They are monster Christians. I wonder what they're going to say about it. Wow.
Yeah, they definitely would have booked Jesus to win that match.
You would think. But my point being, though, is I wonder if they're okay with it. If the Young Bucks are okay with it, I think that we should, because they're much better Christians than I'll ever be. Are any of you? Sorry.
Man, you are totally buying into the cult of the Young Bucks. You got a good point there, man. You got a good point. Honestly, you and I have been texting for this week, as we're trying to get on the same page when we do this program tonight. And one of the things that has arisen is the whole deal with Discovery buying Time Warner. And this is very reminiscent of back in the day where AOL bought out Time Warner. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was AOL bought out Time Warner. And you had WCW was like on the fringes of their programming. It just wasn't something they were interested in. So, as you and I will discuss in another part of the segment, Tony Khan plays ball and is looking to go and appease the Discovery crowd with what he did on Dynamite. And we'll get into that later. But then, on Good Friday, a crown of barbed wire is used. I don't get the guy. I don't know if it's I don't even want to say what's on my mind right now because God forbid, I don't want to accuse anybody of anything I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's a thing.
But at some point, somebody's got to say, what the hell is going on and who's calling the shots here for creative and what's going to be shown on your live cameras, basically. And here's the other thing. You cannot tell me that eventually they're not going to point the fingers at Tony Khan and Silicon Steve Valley. What religion is Tony Khan?
I have no idea.
Muslim.
I mean, it's an assumption, of course. Yeah.
Now, his dad is a Muslim. His dad is the first Muslim owner of an NFL football team. You have people that are going to start looking at that aspect of this too, where he's insensitive on the holiest of days to go and have that sort of imagery on TNT television. Not good business. And again, I'm an AEW fan. They've been they got me through the pandemic. As a fan of other wrestling, be it World-Class Championship Wrestling, which pushed the envelope at midnight from Texas, where they showed it on MSG, where I grew up, to ECW, again on MSG, and other channels that I'd see him on TNN, if you will. This is going and pushing the envelope further in a time where the envelopes have been as tight as ever, especially through cancel culture. So I'm all about having good matches, but having this sort of creative decision happen, I don't know how good it is for business.